So anyway, it's time for our main event in Montreal, Sami's hometown. Sami Zayn Intercontinental title match against Chad Gable that trained him and motivated him and gave him the will to do this. And even after that shot and all this setup and the big intros and everything, they still went a minute to the break. I'm like, God, when you don't want to see the matches, you want breaks so you can zip through them. But when you want to see the matches, it's frustrating. But they started out nice wrestling, fast spots. They're pushing Gable strongly again as a former Olympian instead of Shoosh Boy. And I'm pretty sure this Alpha Academy will either go away or undergo a massive overhaul. Can we assume that it was just Vince all along that was preventing us from seeing Gable as a talent and he was being presented as a joke? I guess it has to be.
Triple H never presented him as a joke. Remember in NXT, he was with American Alpha and they were part of that's how we discovered FTR, the revival, was having those great matches. He came up, he became Shorty G, then he became the shush guy. You realize as he's presented seriously, and I love the stuff they did with him and Gunther, he's not just really good, but if you present him seriously, there's an opportunity there to do something with him.
Yeah, and I think they may be going to capitalize on it. And he not only can work, he can do the moves, but he's getting it. He's getting the fucking... I hesitate to use the word psychology anymore. It's overused so much. But he's getting the psychology of the business and how to do this. Anyway, they had a nice match. They took another break in it. I wrote nice match if I could see it. But the way that they did set up, Gable did not heel per se when he was in control. It's because he was working illegally on the leg, the knee that Sami had slipped on the ropes and hurt, blah, blah, blah. So it's not like he's gouging eyes or kicking balls or whatever. And they had the only part of this match I didn't agree with when they did the German exchange. Gunther Gable Williams, Gable hit the angle slam off the top rope on Sami. Boom. And then he gives him 2 German suplexes. But then Sami does a standing switch and gives Gable 2 German suplexes. Then Gable switches, gives Sami 1. Then Sami gives Gable 1. I'm like, fuck, please leave the German suplex alive. Don't kill the whole goddamn thing in one match. And then Sami gave Gable the last one on his head. But besides that, they had a good match. Sami can sell. Gunther was very talented. He can work. And they ended up really having nice sequences at the end. And then finally, Gable did the moonsault, but Sami put his foot up. But then Gable grabbed the foot and got an ankle lock and cranked it for a long time. And then suddenly, Sami did a roll up, got a 2 count, suplexed Gable into the buckle, hit his kick, and covered him 1, 2, 3. Got a big pop. Sami in his hometown. And after the big celebration, then Sami was laid the belt out, and Gable's in the corner. He's clearly upset and near tears, and Sami lays the belt out and shows him and helps him up. And Gable kind of, reluctantly raises Sami's hand like, he's the better man, and he leaves. And Sami rolls out and goes to hug his family. And that's when Gable comes back and grabs him and gives him a German suplex on the floor. And the people actually booed because it was like, okay, they built this. There's some emotional connection between these people. They went through this whole thing, and now Gable stabbed him in the back. And Gable posted him and threw him over the desk and posted him again and got the ankle lock on him around the turnbuckle. And, they're going to finally make him serious, hopefully, to you. Even though he's small, he's got all that talent. He can talk and work, and you can get something out of it. And that's why I was screaming about Shoosh Boy all that time. They should have known that they were going to do this eventually, and it would have taken better and quicker without the previous caca that people have to forget. That's why I never want to. If you can't use a guy in a positive position, fire him. Don't fucking just use him like a goddamn dipshit till everybody's sick of seeing him, because then you've ruined the rest of his career and you've devalued somebody you're paying. If you can't fucking use him in a positive fashion, or if he's not just there to get other people over, fire his ass and bring him back when you got room for him. But anyway, hopefully they're kicking our boy Gable into high gear here.
Well, let's see. If you wanted to get him away from the whole shush thing, a heel turn is the move to make. It's not just keep him a babyface and make him more serious. It's a complete break.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see where they go with this. And Gunther hasn't been around since he lost the belt. So let's see where... I guess maybe they're holding him off till the draft, now that I think about it.
Well, yeah, because you never know when he could have to report to the Selective Service any day now.
Well, that was WWE Raw, live from Montreal. Jim, perhaps you listen to this show today and you think, those two are half-assing it. You may want to sue!
Well, I'll tell you what. I have heard this man in action. I have heard this man tear into the jugular veins of his opponent in an open courtroom in the pursuit of justice. And you don't want to be on the other side of this man when he starts asking you about how much you got and where you've stashed it. And that's the man, the myth, and the legend, this man.
Call Stephen P. News. If you need to sue. An outlaw mud show or two. He'll sue the rest.
Yes, folks, if you have been harassed or wrongfully terminated or assaulted by people's negligence or assholery or illegality, the man to turn to, Stephen P. New at newlawoffice.com, 877-50-STEVE. And I'll tell you what, when he's staring at somebody in the courtroom, he's going to find out what they got, where they put it, and how quick he can get a hold of it to get you paid and make you whole again. Stephen P. New's motto in court is, I know who you are, and I saw what you did, and I know what you did with the evidence.
You can't drive away. You can't drive away in your Tesla or in your G-Wagon or whatever it may be. He will get you.
You cannot drive away in any of those vehicles without them being impounded and possibly sold to pay your creditors. But nevertheless, from California to Maine to Spain on a choo-choo train, Stephen P. New, newlawoffice.com, 877-50-STEVE. He's going to go and he's going to claw back what has been taken from you. That's the royal you, of course.
The royal you.
As in a complete group of you.
Not me.
Rather than you, the individual you.
Yeah, leave me alone.
But he'll be clawing some of your shit, too.
The metaphorical you, not me.
Clawing it back. No, your actual shit. He'll get some of your shit back, too.
For what? What did I do?
Some of my shit back, too. He's going to get some of everybody's shit back for him.
You're saying he's like Robin Hood.
He robs Peter to pay Paul. Or no, that's not what Robin Hood did.
That's not.
Robin Hood did something else. He
made merry.
If he was the king of the forest, that's what Robin Hood did. If he was the king of the forest, Sherwood Forest. Not Prince, not Duke, not Earl, but Stephen.
Sherwood Schwartz.
Sherwood Schwartz there, who started that forest and instituted a conservation campaign that exists to this day in many South Sea islands.
Stephen P. New.
That's him, not Sherwood Schwartz, but Stephen P. New.
Stephen P. New, 877-50-STEVE.
Do you think that Sherwood had a number 87750 Sherwood?
I don't think so. I'm not sure if 877 was around yet.
Well, no. 877, along with all the other numbers, has been around for a couple thousand years now.
Well,
how do you think they were able to number the year BC?
You are indeed correct. Numbers have been around for a long time.
In the year 1100, listen to me. I'm trying to talk sense to you. In the year 1100 BC, what year did they call it?
I don't know.
Because think about this. If it was the 1100 BC is before the birth of Christ, right? Before Christ, 1100 BC. That's the line of demarcation. Well, how did they know that anybody was going to be born 1100 years from now? So what year was it to them then? There. See?